65 years ago, they were raw-boned boys from rural Oregon. At the start of the season, some had never been on a train before. Yet by season's end, this football team from Willamette University would find themselves present at the dawn of a new age after playing a game in Hawaii on December 6, 1941.
I don't think any of us really ever felt that we weren't going to make it back and everything was going to be all right.
Willamette's trip to Hawaii was the brainchild of its coach, Spec Keene, who knew it would help draw the region's top athletes to the small school.
A lot of these guys on that football team had never been very far from home. I'd never seen the ocean.
People didn't go to Hawaii then, people in Salem, Oregon didn't. It was quite unusual.
Shirley McKay had come along on the trip with her father, who was friends with Coach Keene. A train and a luxury liner brought the entire traveling party to Honolulu and a warm welcome. On December 6th, Willamette, in red, lost to the University of Hawaii, 21-6. Some players' seasickness during the crossing may have cost them the game.
We'd only been off the ship 3 days. And, it takes a while to get your feet back to normal, and I think that really hurt some of us.
On the morning of December 7th, the team gathered outside their hotel to board a bus that would take them to a picnic. But the bus never came, and planes filled the air.
We could see these puffs of smoke around these airplanes that had been, and boy, look how real they are. Look how close they're coming to those planes. And we said, well, that sure looked real.
My father said, oh, that's just a practice, Shirley. Go get your box lunch and go down on the beach and go for a swim and have a picnic. So I did.
We didn't really know then that it was until somebody had turned the radio on in the lobby of the hotel.
What do you remember the radio telling you?
Well, it just said that Pearl Harbor is being bombed.
More than 2,000 Americans would die in the attack on Pearl Harbor, just 12 miles away from the team's hotel. That night, a blackout was enforced amid rumors of an invasion by the Japanese. The next morning, the team again gathered outside the hotel, only this time, each man was given a loaded rifle, even though some had never handled a weapon before. Just hours later, 28 college football players who'd come to Hawaii for a game and a good time were standing 24-hour guard around the perimeter of Punahou High School, an ammunition storage facility for the United States Army.
It was kind of a scary thing doing it because we were at night, it was windy and coconuts were falling and people were firing guns. We'd hear a gunfire and everybody, of course, hit the deck.
It's a wonder somebody wasn't killed. I mean, it's unbelievable to me that they weren't. Because we were all jumpy. We were really jumpy.
For 10 days, they stood guard, anxiously, dutifully, until Coach Keene found the team a ride back home, aboard the President Coolidge, a luxury liner converted to a troop ship that was bound for San Francisco. But as the players quickly learned, 150 of those on board were American soldiers, critically wounded or burned in the Japanese attack.
A lot of them were burn cases, and the smell was really bad. That's what it would almost turn your stomach.
I don't know how you describe burning flesh. There were times that I had to leave down below and get back up to get some fresh air.
I started to try and talk to this guy, and he wouldn't respond, and then the corpsman came over and said, I have to talk to you. And so he told me, he said, leave him be, he's dying.
All on board were nervous that the Coolidge would be attacked by Japanese submarines. As the California coastline drew near, the Coolidge's radio crackled with news of ships being torpedoed. The team's cabins were in steerage, beneath the surface of the ocean, which only heightened the players' fears.
about 2 days out, we started sleeping on the deck because we knew if a submarine hit, we'd have been gone because we're below the steerage is below the water line.
Then, on Christmas Day, after 7 anxious days at sea, the passengers aboard the President Coolidge passed beneath the Golden Gate Bridge.
We sang, "California, here we come." And that was very moving to see that we were there, because there have been so many ugly rumors the last 36 hours that it was very touching.
They returned to Oregon to a joyous welcome, but there was a war on. So each of the 28 players joined the armed forces. All but one of them survived. And only after the war did the story of the 1941 Willamette football team take root. Their sense of duty, their steadfastness in uncertain times. A team that bore witness to history, and in doing so, made history themselves.